Okay, we are live. Um, Never really know what to say exactly the moment we start live, but I will say I've been reading the chat and they're talking a lot about pantsing and plantsing and planning. So carry over from last week, I suppose.
Yeah, and I also noticed that there are a lot of young writers watching today too, so that's awesome.
Hello, welcome everybody, not just young writers.
Yes, we welcome everyone, all ages.
Yeah. But I'm particularly active on the YWP forums as one of the mods. So hello to the YWP people. Say hi to me. Um, which I guess launches us into introductions. If you want to start China.
Yeah, sure. So I'm China. My pronouns are she, her, and I am once again the editorial intern at NaNoWriMo this fall for those who this might be their first VWI. Um, so welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if you're coming back.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sandra. I am the program intern. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I want to shout out all the 11-year-olds in the chat who are asking to be shouted out. So Biggs99, Escon, I see you. Um, and I'm really excited about the uh, virtual write-in that we have planned for today.
Yeah, I am too. And I'm shouting out all the old writers, those who are over 18. We see you too. You are also just as important.
Yeah, but all
So
the people who are 11 to 18, invisible.
the Bog Wizard, you are 22. You are like, I don't know. I don't know. You're kind of young to me, but you might be old to someone else. So
Age is relative, just like time. Hi, I'm a humanities major. Okay.
so
So,
just a oh, go ahead.
no, you go, you go.
I was just wondering, like we see a lot of different ages, but and I noticed kind of that the young writers tend to write in science fiction or fantasy more often. So, like, what genres do you guys write in?
Yeah.
Really?
All the people over 18 are are saying I see you, or being like, how am I old if I'm 18 years old?
Well, you're old compared to an 11-year-old. That's how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, people are writing memoirs, horror,
I love a good horror.
epic fantasy, nice, thriller.
Historical fiction.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's like the one genre I cannot read. Like,
Historical fiction.
I don't like unless it's like I can read memoirs. I can read but for some reason, historical fiction, I just I just can't.
Ooh, I'm not the opposite. It's not my like preferred genre to read, but when it happens, oh, I should shout out my mug too.
We're
Um,
matching.
yeah, if people want to join us with the mugs, go to the NaNoWriMo merch store. They're really cute. They hold
They
a good
are.
amount of water. Stay hydrated, everybody.
Or
But I
tea
love the
for those
store.
weirdos of us.
Yeah. In fact, I love thinking about time in general, China, don't you?
Yes. Awkward segue here. So this is our final week of Nano Prep for everyone who does not know. And so this week focuses mainly on time management. So we've decided it would be fun to think about time management. And I know that most people are just like, how is time management fun? And for those who are going through midterms right now, for you, it probably isn't. But we wanted to just have some fun with you guys. And so our first sort of quick prompt is going to be just going to ask you guys to start a scene with a ticking clock or some sort of timepiece, whether it's a grandfather clock or a timer or a sundial or an alarm clock, whatever it is, up to you. We just want you to try and take 5 minutes to write the scene with some sort of time element in it.
Yeah. And speaking of time, I will be timekeeper. So for this first prompt, we're going to have 5 minutes, and I'll let everyone know at the 2.5 minute mark. So start anything else, or Starting now. Oh, apologies, everyone. We have 1 minute 30 seconds left. I missed the 2.5 minute mark. right, that's time for everybody. Yeah, I found this one a little bit tricky, China. I was trying to think about where the clocks are in my story, and I guess nobody really wears watches anymore, I think.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of weird. I do wear a watch typically. I'm not wearing one right now, but typically I do. Um, because I hate looking at my phone to look at the time. I don't know why. But for me, I was trying to write about like an analog clock on a wall, like while you're waiting to be interviewed for a job. So my character's like getting interviewed. I'm not really sure if this would ever come up in my story or not, but hey.
hmm Ooh, interviews are incredibly stressful. I feel like having a watch would just make me like look at the time, like how long have I been spending on talking about this one conversation? Yeah.
Yes. So what did everyone else write about?
So Kimberly Berlin, I think, wrote about a smartwatch, if that counts, which I forget that those exist now. They weren't really part of my, life growing up, but now I think most people I know who have who wear a watch wear a smartwatch, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, I do not own a smartwatch. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my gosh, Piper North got 207 words. You're
That's
killing my
nice.
little, what, 40 words?
A clock, Havok Withak, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, says a clock ticking while my main character couldn't sleep, and 326 words already. That's crazy. I have like a page of scribbles, and then I started drawing a little face in the corner.
Chim Chim Bean, cool username, by the way, says, I wrote about a girl staring at a grandfather clock waiting for time to pass and when her lover would arrive. I'm like, oh, I love grandfather clocks. I know that might be weird, but I really love them. Like
I don't think that's weird.
there's a furniture store near where I live, and sometimes I go because they have like this entire hallway of just grandfather clocks. I could never afford one because they are really expensive, but they're really cool to look at. So
Mhm. No, I totally agree. They're such a big motif in those Hollywood films of like Hitchcock noir and suspense. I don't know. I just think of like a grandfather clock looming above, ticking away. And I think other people also feel the same way. Like Heather McFarland, the characters notice the ticking of the grandfather clock. Um, or unless that was the one you just said, maybe. uh, yeah. Oh, Marco Rodriguez says this was a very good prompt for the time travel portion of their novel. You're
awesome.
welcome. We planned this for you,
Just specifically for you.
just for you.
Kimberly
Mhm.
Berlin got 79 words, but I think they're good at least. Hey, word count, as long as there's something you can work with, it's less about like how many words you get right now and you know, making sure that you kind of going with the flow and kind of getting in that creative mind headspace, I guess.
Mhm. I was really waiting for you to pull out the "you're valid" thing from last week.
I wanted to. I wanted to so bad.
Mhm. I love what everyone is saying about like tension. I feel like a lot of people are talking about how, like Jackie Morrison says, bringing time into my scene really helped give it urgency. And I think that's a super important thing for people to think about, being conscious of how long or little it takes to do something, and how, like, right now, like, probably one of the greatest stressors in people's lives are feeling like they're constantly running out of time. Not to, like,
Mm-hmm.
go full Hamilton or anything. Why do you write like sorry, that was just the first thing that came to my head, like
Hey,
from
that's
dating
okay.
back for the 1776.
Yes. Rebecca Dugas, I don't know if I pronounced that right, so I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but says, in the future, there are no clocks or other timekeeping devices. People must tell time the old-fashioned way, like watching the sun or when the bees return to their hives.
Mm,
Like, that is not a way I would have ever thought about keeping time by watching bees, but that's really cool. So,
same. When I see bees, I'm usually running away.
I actually really like bees. I just don't like the buzzing. The buzzing just bothers me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shava Ch- Chava K says, "Have y'all ever written about something like that? Someone cursed to only look at clocks, but she wants to look at her soulmate." That's cool. No, I've never written anything like that. It's a
Never.
very original idea.
Yeah, that's really cool. I would have never even thought of that. And I think that's one of my favorite parts of like watching the chat and seeing how everyone takes the same prompt and kind of just goes in completely different directions.
Hmm. Oh, Bethany Louise says, "A wasp flew into my glass of milk yesterday." I'm sorry, that's just what happens when you drink milk.
Yeah, I don't drink
I'm
milk.
lactose
I
intolerant, so I'm
think
very
that's on you.
no, and in all actuality, I'm very sorry that happened to you.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
like to make
Yeah.
fun of milk.
Yeah, I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm actually allergic to milk, so I also don't drink milk. So I
I'm
like
so
being able to
sorry.
breathe.
But you love like pastries, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
You
do.
do. Do you just use like oat milk?
I typically use like almond milk or soy milk.
Mm,
But yeah, I like to bake and I like to eat sweets. So
I mean, thank God for plant milk.
Christy Stoll says she bit a wasp once. How do you
uh, so alarming.
right?
Oh, Anna
Oh,
Aravalo says, "What is YWP?" Great question. That is the Young Writers Program. So for people who are, under the age of 18, you are a young writer. And specifically, if you're above 13 but under 18, you can participate in the Young Writers Program forums. So just go to ywp.nanowrimo.org. Um, and it's just a really great community of kids supporting each other through NaNoWriMo. Wish I had it, but I was too old when I started doing, or I was too. It was I started doing NaNoWriMo before the YWP forums were a thing, so missed out on something. Were you ever a part of it, China?
no, I wasn't because I don't think like you. I don't think YWP was like either it wasn't a thing or I had never heard of it, but had heard of NaNoWriMo when I started doing it. So,
Mm-hmm.
hmm. But
Yeah.
like I'm not on there as much as Sandra is, but I love like hearing all the cool like I'm kind of a creeper on YWP. I don't really post anything, but I just like watching the comments because you guys are really awesome. And you guys have some really great ideas, and I love reading about your like the plots you have and like the characters you're coming up with. So I kind of creep on YWP, even though I'm more active on like the main site.
Yeah. So I love all the bee talk um in the chat right now. Uh but I think we should probably start moving on to our second prompt, despite all my desire to learn more about like all these pastries. Oh my god, they're talking about chocolate pudding with coconut almond milk. Sounds amazing, and I'm sorry it didn't work out. Imaginos Des de Nova. Sorry, the chat is moving very fast. Um, yeah. All right. Well, so for our second sprint, um, we will be writing a scene where a character time jumps. So for the person out there who has a novel about time travel, we truly made this just for you.
It's just
How
for you,
far?
Marco. Just for
Yeah,
you.
just for you. How far does your character go into the future, or the past? Up to you. Whether it's 10 minutes or a century, and then tell us like what happens when they're there. What do they do? What do they experience? And this prompt is going to be 10 minutes. I will be timekeeping again, and this time I will try to say it at the 5 minute mark instead of like the 4 minute mark or whatever. Anything else, China? Or
Oh, and if you don't think this prompt is for you, you don't have to like go with this prompt. You can write about anything you want to, really. But like, if this prompt, if you're not doing something with like time or anything like that, feel free to just write whatever comes to mind. You don't have to stick to the prompt.
yeah. All right. Prompt starting now. There are 4 minutes left. I missed it by a minute mark. Sorry, y'all. About 45 seconds left, everybody. All right, everybody, that's time for our second sprint.
I wish it was longer because I feel like I kind of left off really weird, but that's okay. What about you, Sandra? How do you do this time?
You know, I started off writing, about the future, and then I really spiraled off into like thoughts about character design and like what they look like in the future versus what they look like now, which I thought was like an interesting tangent to go on. And I was also pretty distracted by the chat. There's a lot of good discussions going on. I love what Mariam's Rafia says. If only I could time jump to November 30th, steal my first draft, and see what I end up writing. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, me too. Wow, so many words this time. Or I guess all
There's so
time, but
yeah. Like I don't understand how people can write so quick. It's just amazing to me.
mhm. Yeah.
Lucy May says, I got about 180 words of a jumbled mess trying to figure out exactly what I wanted her to be remembering. I did it as if she went to sleep and reflected on everything. That's
Mhm.
kind of an interesting take.
Yeah. Nicole said, Onje says, I wrote about my character reflecting back on a relationship with her ex-girlfriend that had ended a few years earlier. That makes me so sad. I love it though. Yeah. Well, Linebat says applause for the people with the high word counts. Yes.
Yes.
Applaud for the people with the low word counts as well. You valid.
Yes.
I wrote like maybe 120 words. I don't even know. Fewer likely.
Yeah. Same. Right? Like I don't maybe we just write slow. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. I bet we're like decent typists. We're just
You
as
might be
we
a decent typist, but I will not go so far as to give myself that title.
Mhm. Well, I had a friend in high school who typed like this, so I bet you're better than them. Are you?
Yes, I'm
Shit.
better than
Okay.
but yeah, I have a friend who can type like 500 to 600 words like it's nothing, and I'm just like
Mhm.
I can't do that. Like it'll
Mhm.
take me a while, a good while. Um,
Uh,
so I just wanted to say like since this is our last week of Nano Prep and it is about time management. What are everyone's writing habits? Do you write a little every day, or are you more like I'm going to write 10,000 words this one day and then I'm not going to write for a whole week or 2 weeks kind of person?
yeah.
What about you, Sandra? What are your writing time management habits?
When I'm in NaNoWriMo, I'm really good about it. I write like steadily 1,000, 2,000 words a day. And then sometimes when I have free times, like those words spike. When I'm not doing NaNoWriMo, however, I am definitely a write 10,000 words, then nothing else for, for a week. Um, I like it. Case in point, yesterday I was outlining my NaNoWriMo novel like the planner that I am, hashtag representation. And I wrote like 7,000 words, which is a lot. And then I'm all pooped out now.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. Like I try to free write every day,
Mhm.
but sometimes you just like you're not feeling it, and then sometimes when inspiration hits, which is very rarely, inspiration come. I'll write like a good like 5 6 chapters, and then be like set to go, and then the next couple days I'm just like 25 words here, 100 words here.
Yeah, but that's, as long as you're like continually thinking about it, I think that's great. That being said, I feel very shamed by all the excellent writing habits in the chat that's happening. They're really good.
Yeah, same. Penumbra, mine, and then Ward says 3,000 words per day, 6 days a week.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's not that's not me.
Mhm.
But that's really cool that you can write that much and like not get writer burnout because
Yeah.
that's such a thing.
Yeah. And Aria says, will there be write-ins during November? Yes, there won't be one on the first, on November 1st, because we'll be instead catch us on the donation day weekend stream. We'll be talking more about that at the end of this virtual write-in. But don't worry, you're not rid of us just yet. You've got many more hours of our shenanigans to
Yes, we
enjoy.
are here to stay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tammy L. Spacer, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, says, I push for 2,000 words a day. I love the days I get in the flow and tap out at 6,000 words.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I
I think the
think
most words. Oh,
You
go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say that I think the most words I've ever written in a single day, um, I was in a I was in a writing group and we were doing like these sprints, like these 2 hour long, like we're just gonna write and then we would take a break and talk. And we kept doing it for like a whole day. And I think I got like 10,000 words that day. And I think that's the most I've ever written in a single day.
I'm
So
proud of you. That's 1/5 of a NaNoWriMo novel. You could do NaNoWriMo in 5 days, girl.
yeah, but who has that kind of time?
That's that kind of time, right? Um, I think that one of the things that one of my friends have gotten used to me is that most of the times I'm down to clown. If they want to hang out, we hang out. Some days I just ignore them for like 6 hours if I'm in like the writing groove and they have no idea where I am. Is that something that happens to you, or that's just me being a jerk?
Sometimes, honestly, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I'll just like leave my phone places and forget about it, or I'll like not charge it for like a while, and then it'll be
Mm.
dead, and I won't even notice. So I mean, yeah, I'm not the best at like keeping up with people because yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but if you want, you can. I tell all my friends if you send me a smoke signal or something, I got you. Um,
Homing pigeon.
yes, like send a letter via arrow, whatever. But yeah, I'm not very good at keeping up with people like via, phone call or text.
Hmm. That's okay. You're valid. It's yeah. I feel like I've been ignoring all the excellent um, conversations in the chat. Um, SCON is really shouting you out, China.
Yes, I feel so loved.
um,
Oh, and yes, we planters, we did win because we are awesome. I mean, you pantsers and planners are, also valid, but we are awesome. So there's that.
mhm. Oh, I love Madeline Johnston Planters. I wish that was the name instead of Planters. I feel like Planter is no. I'm not making fun of you, Madeline. I'm sorry. I just was like, oh, Planters. It's like the green, environment friendly planters. Yeah, I'm loving like the recommendations. Rachel Aaron's Write 10K a day and Dragon Dictate. I don't know what these are, but they're great.
Wow, Shava K got 1,789 words on her time travel sprint.
That's crazy.
Like,
Also,
I
oh,
don't
you
even,
guys are
I
too
can't
sweet.
even, yeah, like, I can't even process that.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Like that's like
Did he,
more than ours combined and then multiplied.
did you somehow time travel and or did you stop time and then write, and then just come back? Like,
Mhm.
I don't understand how that's even possible. And if I
Yeah.
tried to write that fast, I would not be able to read what I write. So
Time travelers, all of you. I'm coining the term. If you write more than like 500 words in a virtual write-in, you're a time traveler because it means that you somehow like finagled time to suit your needs and I don't know, like time dilation wrote your way to victory.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Um, but I kind of want to if I could, I would keep reading the comments, but we kind of have to move on to our uh, next
Yeah.
sprint. So just kind of tying in timing and everything once again. Try and write a scene this time where your character is either extremely early or extremely late to whatever like if they're late to a party or whatever it is, that's completely up to you. But write about how they handled it. And once again, if this prompt isn't for you, you don't have to feel like you need to stick to the prompt. It's just kind of a baseline to start off with. And what do you think? Maybe 10 minutes for this prompt?
Yeah, 10 minutes so that we have some time to hear about what everyone has to write and then 5 more minutes to like
Okay.
go through our announcements. All right, I will set the timer now. There are 4 minutes left. All right, everybody. Time is up. Please let us know like what you came up with, about your character being extremely early or extremely late, or if you didn't even write about that prompt, that's totally okay as well. Just share your like word count and information. What were your thoughts, China?
This actually kind of worked really well for me. I'm surprised. I got more words, I think, than the other 2 prompts. So that's great. Maybe one day I aspire to write 400 words in a word prompt. I'm not there yet, but hey. What about you? What did you write about?
I wrote about the kind of people they are, and like would they arrive early, would they arrive late, and it really just evolved into more character description. I think I'm at the part of my NaNoWriMo planning where I just really want to think about characters, and that's kind of bleeding into everything I do.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious, what are everyone's favorite sentences from like what they wrote, if you have
Oh
one
my
or
god.
your word count?
Hava K, I think I'm pronouncing that right, wrote over 1,000 words. That's crazy, man.
I
um,
can't.
I know we're out
I
here
ref
being like, we wrote.
yes. And then, someone here comes with like 300 to 400 words. I'm just like, maybe we didn't write, maybe.
hmm The bog wizard, Luminous, looked around the cave, but no one was inside anywhere, and what more, the little backpack she tripped over earlier was gone. It was too late. Vainglorious was already gone. I love the character names. I think this helped me realize that I don't actually know how to pronounce Vainglorious. Vainglorious? I guess that's what happens when you read a lot and you don't speak a lot.
Say it.
Yeah.
Ahmad Abdullah says, my character is super early to the gym for the first time in his life, and of course it's locked. And it's a great time to reflect on why he wears boxer briefs with Barney the dinosaur on them. And I think that's hilarious.
I love the idea of Barney the dinosaur fan fiction. I know this
Actually,
is
I
just a
think there's
reference, but
actually I think that I don't know where I read this, but like someone's coming out with like a new Barney and it's gonna be like a dark thing. I'm like, I don't know how you can make I don't know.
no.
But it's supposed to be coming out soon. And I'm just like, that's kind of cool. I would love to see that. In my opinion, rewatching Barney has kind of made me understand that it's already pretty dark, but
I don't know, that reminds me of like the grittier Dora the Explorer that was circulating the internet all those years ago. It horrified me a little bit, but like you do you try to if you want dark Barney, you go dark Barney.
yes. And Twinkle Toes the Berserker, you are correct. Eating lunch is a very important nano prep step. Do not starve yourself because you are writing. Helpful
Yeah.
hint.
Don't starve yourself. Don't dehydrate yourself, especially to all you people who have like water or tea or coffee just like chilling on the corner of your desk. Take a sip. Plug for the mug. No, I swear that wasn't planned. China and I just have the same mug. And then when we were prepping for this, we were on the video call and we were like, oh my God, we both have a mug.
Yes. And to answer your question, Shava K, I actually have not named my character yet. So we'll
Cancer
see what.
energy.
Yeah, there's no name,
Mhm.
but she is a artificially created human being. So that's her attribute. So there's
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Mine is just a high school boy. Haven't really decided on a name for him yet. Um, yeah, he's just chilling, solving mysteries and stuff.
Yeah. So we're kind of running out of time, so we want to make sure we get to all our announcements and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
As much as I would love to talk more about beverages, um, let's get into some of our final announcements. Like, first, thank you everyone for coming out. We had a lot of thank yous earlier in the chats for saying thank you to us for dedicating our time. But I just want to turn that back on you guys and say thank you for coming out. This would be such a sad live stream if it was just us talking to each other. So it's you guys that make this such a enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Um, and so don't forget to check out our forums, which we talked about briefly before. So the YWP forums, the NaNoWriMo forums, depending on what age group you're in. Again, for those who just dropped in, if you're 13 to 18, head over to YWP. If you are above that, go to the adult forums. If you're younger than that, probably shouldn't be talking to strangers on the internet. Um, and oh,
also,
do you want to talk about 30 covers, 30 days?
yes, I do. I like it's one of my favorite parts of NaNoWriMo. 30 covers 30 days, where we have 30 amazingly wonderful and like kind designers design a cover for 30 randomly picked novels that you guys write. So 23 novels by those on our NaNoWriMo site, and 7 novels by our young participants will be picked by these designers, and they will come up with a cover for your book. And it has to be for this year's Nano project. It can't be for like a book you wrote 3 years ago. And it has to be for a project that you've declared. So if you have not yet, announce your project, go ahead and do that before submitting to 30 Covers 30 Days. I'm really excited to see, all the really cool and interesting covers that our designers come up with. They're doing this out of the kindness of their heart with their free time. So it's if you want your cover to be designed, go ahead and submit. You never know, and you can always try again next year too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's specific ones just for YWP people, so you got as good of a chance as anyone else.
Yeah.
30 Covers 30 Days is so cool. I wish that my novel was selected when I was a wee one. But I'm very jealous of everyone who gets to have an actual professional designer. So if you haven't seen any links on how to announce your project, it's super easy. Just go to the NaNoWriMo, and there are so many links everywhere that say announce your project. And I think that Catherine might drop it in the chat as well. And speaking of, virtual write-ins, this was our last week of Nano Prep. It's not the end of the virtual write-ins. Again, you aren't rid of us that easily. But I just wanted to give you guys like a heads or a breakdown of how the Nano Prep fundraising has worked out for us. So we had 1,451 donors who gave during our Nano Prep fundraising campaign, which is very exciting. And we raised nearly $44,000 to support our nonprofit programs, which is amazing. Thank you everyone for being so generous. But just because you missed the Nano Prep fundraising campaign doesn't mean that you can't continue donating or that we aren't, in need of your donations. Again, we are a nonprofit that relies very heavily on donations and grants to keep running and keep producing things like this virtual write-in for everybody. And finally, what you all were waiting for, the breakdown of Planner Pantsers. So 68 people turn out to be Pantsers among those who donated, and 20% are Pantsers and 12% are planners. So this can mean a lot of things. It could mean that our demographics are primarily Pantsers. It could mean that Pantsers are the most generous people to grace this earth. And planners are super stingy, which would make me really sad as a planner. But another thing might have happened where the planners were just too busy outlining, which in that case, you valid, but also consider donating as well at me. And lastly, I know that we're almost out of time, or we're out of time, but the next opportunity to join as a NaNoWriMo supporter is around the corner. As we mentioned, China and I will not be hosting a virtual write-in next Friday because you can catch us on Sunday instead. Our double up donation weekend is next Friday, October 30th to Sunday, November 1st, which is 3 full days of inspiration as we start our novels together. And we really want to be able to see you guys there. We'll be having a live stream from 12 to 2. Am I right with that, China? 12
I
to
think
2.
so.
Yeah, so there will be more information about that. We have a couple of really cool special guests coming in. And
Yes.
Again, double up donation weekend. It's in the name. Donate, keep us going.
Yeah, you get that really cool halo, that's kind of like a really cool part of it. And we really just want to see you guys come out. We have some amazing guests, and I'm really excited about it. So it'll be great to see you all there.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you wanted to share?
I guess other than a general plea for everyone to take care of themselves, it's rough out here. And NaNoWriMo was just around the corner, and I'm sure that might be a source of stress for people, but I hope it's also a source of stress relief for people. I know it will hopefully be both for me. But yeah, when times are rough, make sure to take care of yourself, from basic human function to grander self-care notions.
Yeah, and also shameless plug, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. and click on the bell so that you get notifications. And of course, make sure to check out our forums. You guys can kind of continue the conversations you're having here on our forums. So we just want to make sure you guys remember to do that.
Yeah. And I guess that's it. We'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, on Sunday.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out.
Bye. Thank you.